guys, so I'm making seafood soup African style, of course, and let me just show you the ingredients that I'll be using. We've got this fish here. I forgot what the name was, but it is a flatfish. It is in the family of the stingray. Okay, that's actually a whole one there. So I will put that in the oven until it dries up. I'll season it up, just put it as it is, and then when it comes out, I will chop it in sizable pieces. And this is crab claws. Let me show you. There, you don't have to cut it or anything, just wash it, and then you put it in the soup. And if anyone can guess what this is, okay, well, these are, if you guessed squid, you're correct. This is squid. I'm trying to show you the inside. There's nothing in there, it's just empty. I've always thought about like making rice and just stuffing it in there and seasoning the outside, put it in the oven. We'll see what happens. And then this is sardines. I'm just using 3 of them, and I will put them in the soup as a whole. Got 2, well, 1 large and 1 medium plum tomato. Doesn't matter which tomato you use. Tomato paste, or you can use tomato sauce. The whole small can if you're using tomato sauce. And this is the equivalent of one regular sized onion. This is a very large one, so I had to cut a piece of it off. This is ginger. I will be cutting it in some sizable pieces into the soup. And I'm using 4 Jamaican peppers. I know that's a lot, but when you're making fish soup, you need to put a little bit more pepper than you usually would, because fish can take a lot of pepper. And then 2.5 shrimp Maggi cubes. It doesn't have to be the shrimp one, though, I have to say. And these are snail meat. See, frozen boiled apple snail meat. I will use about half of that. And what else? Oh yes. And then dry fish. These are the catfish type of dry fish. This is gonna be my base. So when I put some water into the pot that I'm going to use, it'll be the first thing to go in. Because when you're making fish soup, you cannot use the fresh fish as your base, unlike when you're using meat. So just put a little bit of water inside the pot. You don't have to, it doesn't really matter whether you put a whole lot or a little. Some people like to start off with very little. This is about 1/4 of the pot. On high fire. Okay. And I will break this in just a half and put it in. So let's get started. It'll come apart in so many pieces sometimes. Okay. And I'm going to use the second one as well for this. That's it. And then the next thing will be your vegetables. Just put it right on top. That's your base right there. And your onion. Oh yeah, by the way, always like slit the top and the bottom. Cooks much more faster. And the same with the onion. I've already done those. And then the peppers, of course, take the stem off. Okay. And there we go. I've already washed the other vegetables. I didn't wash this one. So I have the fish, the flatfish on the tray to go into the oven. But first I'm going to season it up. Just a little bit of salt on both sides. Okay. Okay. Ooh, that looks like a good presentation, doesn't it? There's the snails, it's defrosted. I've washed them off and everything. And there's the crabs, I washed them too. Of course, to salt these fishes, the sardines, just a little bit so that they stay fresh. I don't have to salt this, it picks up the seasoning pretty easily. I wanted to show you the inside. Let me show you, now I can get it. See? It's nothing in there. Nothing. So I'll use both of them. You can cut it anyhow you like, whether just small strips or squares, whatever you want. I'm gonna cut it probably into medium sizes. So I'll cut here and something like this. And the ginger, let me show you how I'm cutting mine. It's up to you, but don't cut them into too small of pieces if you're using ginger. It's not really necessary, but if you want to make proper Ghanaian seafood soup, that's what you do. You put some ginger in there. I'm gonna go ahead and take out those veggies, blend it up, and pour it back in there with a little bit of water. Don't put too much water because you haven't added all of the other fishes yet, the other seafood. So you don't know how much the water is just going to extend to. So you blend all of them together. You can blend, put the tomato paste inside the blender as well. I'm gonna use like 2 tablespoons, heaping tablespoons. Okay. So I'm done blending, so I could go ahead and put that in right away. And then just rinse the blender a little bit. You rinse it to get all the remnants out, so it's not, so that you don't waste it. And this is the time where I can put the ginger. I could have even put the ginger in the beginning. It doesn't really matter, just don't put it like way too late. And then the next thing is the crabs. They get done fast, but that can go in. And this is the time that I can add the Maggi cube. This is half and then the other 2. Don't add way too much seasoning because you never know. Once it gets salty, you can't really go back. You can by adding water, but it changes everything. To show you guys quickly, as I was saying, you can add the tomato paste just like this as well, and or you can add the tomato sauce. So that's 2 tablespoons that I've used right there. And you don't have to do much, just leave it in there. It's going to dissolve on its own. So the next thing would be the snail. After it starts boiling, I will put the snail in and then cut the squid and just add it in there. The fresh fish here will be the last thing I put in. Okay, go ahead and add the other ingredients, which is a snail right there. Just throw them in there. You don't need to stir it or anything like that, unlike a stew. And the fish still doesn't go in yet. That is the very, very last because it gets done in no time. And you don't want it to, if you put it in too early, it's going to scatter all over the soup if you're not too careful. So that's the squid. I cut it up into medium-sized squares. Let this boil for after you've added everything that you need to except for the fish. You let it boil for like I'd say a good 15 minutes, and then you can add all the fish, the fresh fish that you want in there, including any fishes that you put in the oven when it's done. So see you guys in a couple. So you want to get it really dried up like this if you are trying to dry up your fish. Okay, so our soup is now boiling because I turned on the fire again in order to put this fish in there. See how dried up it is? That's exactly how you need it. It's not necessary to use the same fish that I am. I'm just showing you how to make the soup. It can work anyway with other fishes. I like red snapper also, and catfish. Catfish is very meaty. Just wanted to show you guys quickly the squid. Well, the end part of it here. This is how it turned out. See? It gets kind of hardened and it opens up. So that's it. Kind of looks like a funnel. Let me get you guys another piece to look at. Okay, there's one here. There's the snail right there. Perfect. And if you have some okras, you could whole ones, the whole fresh type of okra, not frozen. You just put like 6 of them or 8 of them on top. Let it boil till it's done, but not too soft. And that's it. You're good to go. Perfect. The end result. Everything is done. Turn off the fire, but it's just simmering down on its own right now. See? There's the squid. A couple of them there. There's the crab. Nice big claw. And I put 1 Jamaican pepper in there. Wonder who's gonna find that one. See how the foam is gone? It's gone. Most of it is gone.